This podcast is recorded on Gadigal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Hey chicks, I'm Sal.
And I'm Al.
And this is Two Broke Chicks, a show that shares life lessons and tips to help make you rich in life. And welcome back to another piping hot episode of What's the Tea? This week, or this month, we're joined by Starr McGowan.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey chickies.
Oh my God, so excited to finally have you in the pod.
I know. I feel like we've been trying to do this for years, and here we are. And as soon as I walked into the studio, we put a table together. So that was great.
We, Star means Star. We had to get a new coffee table for the studs, just for a long story, very boring. And I brought it upstairs, and I was like, Star's gonna love this.
Yeah.
And she walks in, she goes, "Oh, do you need help? Do you need help making it?" And I was like, "It's all yours, darling."
Yeah.
It's all yours, because I don't want to fucking do it.
No
Yeah.
screwdriver, just a knife.
Yeah,
exactly.
I
And a
was like,
dream.
I've got a book. You can smash
Let me
it.
smash it with a hammer.
That's the Aries way of building furniture.
The epitome of girl office. But we made it work. And I'm so excited to have you on because obviously you're one of our besties, Starr, but also you are like a nostalgia pop culture queen. So who better to have on to chat what's the tea on the internet over the last couple of weeks. So Al, what's the tea?
Okay, my tea is, did you guys see that Tyra Banks is suing Netflix over the America's Next Top Model documentary?
Wasn't she a producer on it?
Well, yeah.
On the
She was-
docuseries?
No, I don't know if she was a producer, but she was on it.
Yeah.
So the tea is that obviously Tyra Banks is a model, a TV presenter, producer, an actress who has now filed a defamation lawsuit against Netflix and the directors of the docuseries Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model, which was released earlier this year in February. Did you guys watch the docuseries?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was harrowing in
Yeah.
so many moments.
Yeah.
But I think it was interesting the way that they positioned it, though, because they would show all these bad things that Tyra allegedly did, and then it would pan to her. She's like, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. So she filed the lawsuit on Saturday in Los Angeles federal court, alleging that the producers stripped down hours of interview footage and testimony to build a false narrative. So the lawsuit is against Netflix, 89 Blocks Holding, Ever Wonder Studio, Netflix Music, and co-directors Moore Laushi and Daniel Savan. And the lawsuit includes suing for false light, defamation by implication, breach of contract, and false endorsement. Because she says that her interview was 3.5 hours. And she says she took responsibility for some of the show's controversial actions in that 3.5 hours. However, in the show, this was condensed to around 16 minutes of content, which was manipulated to support a false and defamatory narrative unrelated to what she actually expressed.
That's interesting because I would love to know what was left on the cutting room floor. I have no doubt that obviously they have manipulated the footage in some way to tell a story, whether or not that is, extremely exaggerating the truth or if it is in line with the truth. Like, obviously we don't know that, but like, I'm sure. But also, wouldn't that be the process for most documentaries, that the interviews would go for hours and then you'd end up with like 20 minutes of footage?
Yeah. I also think I'm not sitting here counting, but she felt like she had more than 16 minutes of airtime in the show.
I would love to know though.
Yeah,
to
like
actually
now,
see.
like surely can someone go back and count? Because but I think what's a very interesting point to this is that some of the contestants from the show have come back to her and this lawsuit and said, well, isn't that exactly what was done to us?
Exactly.
Oh,
That's how
yeah,
reality TV
true.
works, right? And we
Yeah.
saw so many of the stories of the girls on that show and what they went through and how much they were manipulated when they were on it. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, now the tables
Yeah.
have turned.
Yeah.
So Adrian Curry, who won Cycle 1 of the reality competition series, reacted after Tyra filed a lawsuit over Netflix docuseries. And she posted on social media on Sunday addressing the news saying, I read that Tyra Banks is suing Netflix because she didn't like being edited. At which point in the video she laughs and then says, bitch, for real, girl. She also captioned the post with, welcome to the party, pal.
Ooh.
As well, some former contestants at the time of the docuseries release defended Tyra and the production. So Cycle 8 winner Jacelyn Gonzalez says she's grateful for Tyra and for her help in furthering her career. Publicist Kelly Catrone, who appeared as a panelist on Cycles 18 to 22, was also complimentary of Tyra's work. So it's very interesting to see how this is all coming together, because also included in the suit was the false narrative the producers constructed through selective editing, deliberate omission, and surgical manipulation of continuous footage, included that Miss Banks knowingly allowed a contestant to be sexually assaulted on her show, exploited that contestant's trauma for ratings, and then could not even remember it when asked. So that was quite a very serious and significant storyline.
Yeah.
And that is being addressed in this lawsuit directly, that her reaction to that has been manipulated.
Which I could understand if she genuinely did feel that way. Like, that would be awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I guess that's the thing. We just don't know what the truth
Exactly.
is.
I do think what would be probably the best step forward is, like, release the tape, like release the footage, which with these things tend to happen. Like, they end up, like, I'm not a lawyer, shock, but they end up like subpoenaing the whole thing. And then I also saw that her lawyers wrote that she wasn't allowed to review the docuseries until the day before it was released.
And it's like, by that point, it's too late.
Yeah,
to do
nothing's
anything.
going out. It's been
changed.
announced.
Yeah, like, if anything, it means that you can perhaps, like, prepare any sort of press release or comment that you want to make. But in terms of actually editing or making changes, like, that's probably not going to happen. That is so wild.
Yeah. I do think, like, it's going to be very interesting to see, because, you know, if what she's stating is true, I just think that's so disappointing to, you know, use a woman as, like, the scapegoat of the editing. But again, there's also a lot of other stories, and not even stories, but, like, claims from contestants that are also incredibly valid, important, and need to be heard. So
Yeah. Well, I think I remember when I brought the documentary or the docuseries to, I think it was a What's the Tea a few months ago when it first came out, I did mention that I felt like when watching it that Tyra did take the fall for the majority of it, and which makes sense because she was, you know, like an executive producer or whatever her role was. She's the face of it. Like, I can understand why people all pointed the finger at her, but I thought that that was interesting that, yes, like, there were a few other people mentioned in the docu-series, but it mainly was put on her. And I'm not saying that, like, that is, you know, necessarily unfair, because we don't know her, the level of her involvement. All we know is what we've seen. But I remember thinking that and being like, ooh.
At the end of the day, I think the things that were said on this show, the challenges these women were put through, at the end of the day, were just fucked.
Yeah,
it was a fucked up show. Yeah, like, it was just a fucked up show.
What about the Greek salad photo shoot?
Oh, yeah.
Put them in a giant salad. Imagine wasting that olive oil in this economy.
Yeah, so
Drizzle me
true.
with oil.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And who's going to get booked from doing that? Like, no one.
Your hair would be stinky.
Gosh. But yeah, I think this will be very interesting to see how this unfolds. But yeah, that's the tea.
That's the tea.
But of course, if you or anyone you know needs support or has been affected by sexual harassment or abuse, please know that help is available. You can reach out to 1-800-RESPECT 24/7 on 1-800-737-732.
Okay, bit of a tone shift. Starr, what's the tea?
The tea this week, girlies. Toy Story 5 has finally hit cinemas, and I just cannot get enough. I love the Toy Story franchise so much. What's your favourite Toy Story film first?
2.
Mine would be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have got some fun facts for you girlies about Toy Story.
Have you seen Toy Story 5
I
yet?
saw it last night.
Okay, yeah, no spoilers, but I've seen a lot of people saying that they literally were sobbing.
I was
also
crying
sob?
so much. I don't know if it was just because period as well, that really accumulated to the amount of tears that was streaming out of my face. But it is just all about girlhood and connection and being whimsical and staying silly in your life. And I just think it's going to be a really, really important film. I was on the bus coming here this morning, and it just made me reflect so much on my life and my behaviors. Like, a little toy is having this effect on me. So that's when you know Pixar, they really know how to pull on the heartstrings. But Toy Story is actually a very interesting franchise because, as we know, my brain is full of fun, silly pop culture facts. I don't know where my birth certificate is, but I can tell you all about Toy Story. So let's rewind back to 1995, which is when the first Toy Story film was released. Did you know this was the first fully computer animated feature film ever?
Yeah.
So that is massive. So we had little bits of computer animation in things like Tron and other films, but Toy Story was really revolutionary in that sense. And it's funny when you go back and you look at the animation because it looks a bit chopped.
Love it.
Yeah.
Looking at Sid,
I had the biggest crush on him
smash or pass.
when I was a little kid. I loved him.
She loves a bad boy because he's got his like little spikes.
He's
and
got his
all
little,
over.
his little like skull t-shirt. Yeah, I was into him.
I liked his dog.
Scud, I think his name is. Yeah.
Sid
Yeah,
and
and a cute dog.
Scud. Yeah, love that. Okay, so then we fast forward to Toy Story 2. So the first Toy Story was incredibly successful by all feats. Amazing story, really cool animation. And then we get to Toy Story 2, and this was in a really interesting era for Disney because they just come out of the Renaissance era, which is where things like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, all these really, really successful films were happening. And then they were doing direct-to-video sequels. So remember when we were kids, like you could buy Cinderella 2 or Little Mermaid, all these random videos where the
Not
story
too much on Little Mermaid 2 now.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a
Wait, what was
classic.
Ariel's daughter's name?
Melody.
Melody,
Come on,
okay.
put some respect on Melody's name.
And then Morgana, Ursula's sister.
I do know that you girls know every single word to every Disney
Yeah.
song. And
That's
I learned that, and I love you even more for that now. But so with Toy Story 2, Disney originally wanted it to be a direct-to-video sequel. Toy Story 2 is one of the greatest sequels, not only just sequels, greatest films ever. So they were originally pushing for it to go direct to video. And we know we love Little Mermaid too, but can you imagine how different the story would have been? Because the budget would have been way lower. It would have been a completely different film. And Pixar were like, no, we're going to gun for this. We're going to push for it. We know we can make something amazing. We don't want it to be a subpar product.
So direct to video was like not that much budget.
Yeah.
Just send it to the
Shop it all
homes,
together. It'll
but
be
then-
an hour long.
Yeah. But if it goes to the cinemas, more
Cinematic-
budget.
Yes.
More marketing
Yeah,
budget.
yeah. And
I'm with you,
now
I'm
it's
with
one
you,
of the
I'm with
most iconic films ever,
Yeah.
right? They get to being about 90% done with the film. And one day, someone goes into the computers, into the hard drives for Toy Story 2. And for some reason, there was this function in the computer where you could completely delete everything that was in this folder. They had 90% of the film, and someone goes in there and goes, on the computer, and it got entirely deleted.
So 90%, like all of Toy Story 2 was deleted.
It was due to release in cinemas 3 months later, and they have just deleted the entire thing. So obviously the team is scrambling. They're running around like, what are we going to do? The whole film's
my
been deleted.
God.
They remember, it's okay because we've got our backups that automatically run. They check the backups. Backups not working. They have nothing at this point.
Thrown up.
And in order to get that film back on track and to get it, finished again, starting from scratch, that would have taken a whole year. And this team is already ripping their hair out because it's been such a crazy project. And they have so much to prove to the big execs and to Disney saying we're going to deliver a top tier product. And then a hero comes along.
Hero emerges.
One of the producers on the film had a baby about 6 months or so beforehand. So she set up a system because she needed more flexibility to work from home and be around her baby, where she would have automatic backups get sent to her computer at home once a week. So she's in the meeting, this diva remembers, she's like, wait, I've got the backup. So when they retell the story, they drive to her house and they say they wrapped up this computer like it was a baby. They put it in a blanket, they gently carry it out to the car, put it in the seatbelt, take it in. So then instead of losing 90% of the film, they just had to go back about 3 or 4 days and they could pick up the film where they left off. So she
Thank
literally
God.
saved Toy Story 2.
Holy
Is that not wild?
shit.
A woman
I
on Mat
know.
Leave saved Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Wow. And what is amazing as well is that I feel like Toy Story 2 is pretty well renowned for being one of, if not like the best sequel of all time.
Yeah, that and Shrek 2. Yeah. Definitely up there.
I also quite enjoyed Frozen 2.
Oh, I
throw
love
a
Frozen
spanner.
2. I think Frozen 2 is really
You guys
underrated.
do love Frozen 2.
I
The
like
songs-
Frozen 2 better than Frozen 1.
Yeah, the soundtrack
That
of Frozen 2 is elite.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's so
Isn't that wild? Like, and the
Wild.
moral of the story is always back up your files.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier now because things are automatically backed up. But remember, in school, if you'd have an assignment or something, and if you didn't save that Word doc, you were cooked.
Yeah, yep, seriously. I wonder what processes they have in place now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I know about this story is because I read a book by one of the founders of Pixar where it just has all these different stories about each film, and I listened to that and I was like, that is absolutely wild that this one woman who, needed to have more flexibility with work was able to save Toy Story 2 entirely.
Yeah.
Love.
life
Thank God
lesson.
for
Yeah.
Let women do whatever they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that is a
Listen
cool
to
one.
women always.
Yeah, totally.
And did you know, so now back to Toy Story 5, we've had 5 amazing films in the franchise. And
Did you like Toy Story 4?
maybe not so amazing. The scary dolls freak me out.
I haven't watched
They're
Toy Story
flopping
4,
around.
but I
There's
wanna
this
watch Toy
little
Story
ventriloquist
5.
doll. A thrift store is kind of or antique store is at the center of it. That's very
Yeah.
much a vibe,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it's definitely not as solid. And then, Toy Story 3 is actually a horror film.
Oh my God.
What so?
I just didn't like that they left Andy.
Yeah.
But he's a grown up.
I don't care. I still have
You
my Barbie.
still got your toys.
I have my toys.
And then I saw an interview the other day where Tom Hanks made a joke saying that after 30 years of doing these films, Pixar haven't figured out a way for them to all be in the studio at the same time. So they all go to work to record their lines, but they're not together. I
hate that.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
So they'd have to say,
Yeah.
like, there's a snake in my boot 50 different times and all these different intonations, and you can't even bounce off the people that
Yeah.
you're around.
Is that the same process for every animated
I
film?
would assume.
Yeah, I would say so because I guess you can't have any pickups of anybody else's sound in the
Yeah.
background, and maybe when they do promo, they'll shoot some videos because I've seen some stuff for Frozen where they were all in the same
Yeah, that's
studio.
what I was thinking.
Ah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
interesting.
They're lonely.
Yeah, and so we haven't seen Toy Story 5 yet.
Yes.
So as we were saying, no spoilers, but I have seen that Toy Story 5 does mainly center around Jessie, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
which is kind of a
finally-
throwback to Toy Story 2
Yes,
a little bit
yeah,
because that's when
definitely.
she's first introduced to the franchise.
And there definitely are a lot of throwbacks, no spoilers, throughout the film. So that really is the emotional anchor that carries
when somebody
you throughout.
loves me is in the movie, I'm going to evaporate.
Girl,
I'm gonna like. What's that guy in Avengers? The Click, and then I go away. The fact that you know that, I have never been prouder in my life. I don't think you've seen a single Avengers movie in your entire life. So let's notch that down for a gold star for later. Yeah, that's
It was playing as I was walking into the cinema last night. Like,
Shut
they've already got me. And
my
it's just so fun.
God.
Even with the introduction of the new characters, I think when it's a franchise that we've known and loved for so many years as well, it's like, please don't stuff this up if you're going to
Yeah.
bring anyone new. But
When
it
you
was
see the children and
really,
you're like, this
really
isn't for you.
good.
this isn't for you.
But it was actually funny being in the cinema because the little kids laugh so loud at everything. So it adds to the experience of being
it's nice
there.
seeing them experience something. But
the childlike whimsy.
Yeah, it always reminds me of that quote from Narnia when it's like, "Don't recite the dark arts to me, witch. I was there when it was written." Like that's me.
Literally.
Being like, if you ruin this for me, you will sit and you will laugh at the right points to laugh, and you will not talk.
I love it though because Toy Story has been a franchise for over 30 years, which is amazing. Like when we were watching it when we were little kids and then watching it now, and so many people who would be watching it now who enjoyed it growing up would have children of their own.
Yeah, it's so
And
special.
because Toy Story 5, like I've just seen this from the trailer, but it's about like it kind of juxtaposes physical toys and like digital devices and screens and how kids now are playing with iPads or with tablets rather than playing with physical toys, right? So it's almost like it's a movie for the parents and for the kids.
It really calls us out, and it's all about toys versus tech, and that's what I mean. How I was sitting on the bus this morning, everyone was on their phone, and I had my book, and I was like, I'm better than everyone. Some of you haven't seen Toy Story 5, and it shows. But yeah, I think a really good film film that, you know, pulls on your heartstrings like that. It makes you reflect on your behaviors and how you want to show up in the world. And it's for the parents, but there also are some really important lessons in there for the kids as well. I can imagine I'll go take my 7-year-old niece to see it. She'll be like, why are you crying? Starr, leave me alone.
Yeah, you'll get it in 3 years.
Yeah, but can we also talk quickly before we wrap up this segment about Taylor Swift as like a Swiftie yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, what did you
Having,
think?
you know, Taylor do the song for Toy Story 5 and be involved in Toy Story 5.
I have just loved the crossover in every way, and everything about this film in the lead up, the press tour that they've been doing, Taylor Swift doing a song, it really is that perfect Venn diagram of all of my interests in one. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the song is really happy, really nostalgic as well. It's like, how can you be nostalgic about a song that you've only just listened to? But it really just hits a spot. And I think bring back the art of a perfect credit song. You know, when the credits hit and you sit there and you're like, what did I just experience? That was amazing.
And then the celebrity cover of like the main song comes in and you're like, oh, I'm levitating.
Yes.
Did you see all the Easter eggs? So
I was raised by Taylor Swift. Of course I saw all the Easter eggs.
So that was like my thing that I was like, bloody hell, she's good. So Taylor Swift admitted that the clouds in the song, was it The Fate of Ophelia? No. Ophelia, no.
Yeah, The Fate of Ophelia.
So that in the Fate of Ophelia music video,
That
the
was
clouds in the background of the music video is a Toy Story Easter egg.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the cover of 1989 has been changed to clouds as well.
They changed it from seagulls to clouds. I did see that, and everyone was absolutely losing their minds.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about being a Swiftie is that every couple of weeks you're completely clowning over something, but 25% of the time it ends up being real.
But that's what I was saying as well. And then she also capitalized T and S in the lyrics of her songs, I think, on Spotify. So I'm just like, I love. Also, she was wearing an outfit that was. She was recently wearing an outfit that was Toy Story colors. That I love how into it she gets.
Yeah,
her attention to detail.
It's like fun that she's like, ooh, could be.
It's so much fun until you're staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
for a countdown. You're like, what's going to happen?
But everyone treats Swifties like they're that meme of the guy with the board and the red string. But I'm like, but they're valid.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And it's so satisfying when it actually is something, and then it'll be that one person who's developed this really deep theory, and you're like, oh, thank you so much for doing the hard work.
Yeah.
I usually just wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, what are we clowning about today? Perfect. Yep. Aligned.
Cool. Love it. All right.
She's raising a group of private investigators.
Seriously.
Like the attention to detail. I love it. Okay.
Sal, what's the tea?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Sal, what's the tea?
You nailed that.
Good job,
You
Stazzy.
nailed that. Okay. What's the tea? A handbag's over? I know. So have you guys seen this article floating around in some of the commentary?
Yes, I did. And I have many thoughts, but please
Okay.
give the law first.
Yeah, so for the chickies who haven't seen it, so the New York Times recently published an opinion piece posing the question, is the handbag over? And it was actually like a reader wrote in. So it was that kind of like opinion piece, which I thought was interesting. So the reader wrote in and asked, are women's handbags becoming obsolete? I noticed they are not as popular as they used to be. Some very powerful professional women do not use them, preferring clothing with pockets and or briefcases. Is the age of the handbag over? And that was from Nancy in Denmark. And I wanted to, before we dive into it, I wanted to see what your first impressions are. What do you both think of it? Do you think that the handbag is over?
You can pry my handbag out of my cold, dead hands.
Mm-hmm.
I have an entire life in there.
Right?
My snacks,
Yeah.
my lip balms, my water bottle,
An
my
apple
book.
that's probably about to cure some sort of disease that we haven't discovered yet.
Yeah.
You know?
There's important shit in there.
Exactly.
But also on the pockets, we all get so excited when we find a piece of clothing that has real pockets.
Yeah.
As if that is like something to be celebrated. You know, when you put a dress on, you're like, oh, it has pockets. And that's how you'll justify it to the girls if you're going to spend, you know, a little bit more on something. It has pockets.
But also, women's pockets are never as good as men's. They're
I
always
know.
these tiny little fucking fake pockets,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, sorry, I'm getting It's not that deep, Alex.
It is that
deep.
No, it's not that deep because the pockets are too small.
Especially blazers, they always have fake pockets. Like, why have you stitched this in there?
Yeah,
The
it's
amount
a
of
fucking
pockets
joke.
I've ripped thinking that they were just stitched clothes.
And then it just goes inside the
And then
lining
it
of
just
your
goes
jacket.
inside the lining,
It's
and I was
all a
like,
lie.
cool, thanks,
Yeah.
Gab. Sorry. What's your opinion?
I don't think they're over.
No.
I do think that one of the first things...
Can I add a caveat?
Yeah.
I will say if I am popping up to get like one stick of cheese or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One
like I
single
just
cheese
want like a
stringer.
can of Coke or something. I'll grab my keys, my phone, and they both go in my back pocket.
But then you end
Like-
up dropping everything on the ground anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Whenever I don't take a handbag, I do regret it, Star. That's a great point.
It's very true. But also, we've all seen the memes of like the claw and the power of a woman's
Girl grip.
Yeah.
Girl
Oh,
grip.
yeah.
Girl
yeah.
grip.
Girl grip
is-
is a thing.
Honestly, I think that's like an evolution of women.
Yeah.
They
That-
should teach it to like tradesmen.
Yeah, they wouldn't
And,
need
like,
those little
construction
cunty
workers.
belts.
No. Girl grip.
Yeah.
You got to get the right directional of the fingers.
the claw.
The
Yeah, the claw. I love
It's all
that.
coming full circle.
Yeah, totally. But I also do think, and this was one of the first points raised in the article, the author does start off by saying that if one thing is certain about fashion, everything that is out will come in again.
Yeah.
So she's saying that if there's this commentary that handbags are out, it's not going to be forever. However, she does also point out that the relationship with particular items in fashion does evolve. And it appears that we may be at a turning point with handbags and how we use handbags and how we value handbags, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you think about even, you know, back in the day when people would be wearing like petticoats or, you know, like just different items that used to be in fashion that people would wear, or like parasols or
Yeah.
stuff like that were very functional pieces of fashion and clothing.
True.
And it's like they still exist, but maybe they're just not as prevalent as they once were. So I will be interested to see how this evolves in the coming decades. But in the article, she does pull on some stats and research to back it, and why she does think that we are at a turning point where perhaps the handbag is over. No. So
No.
I know. So
I also love that I'm like being like, no, let's
Yeah.
I don't have free will.
yeah,
Alex, you can still use your handbag.
are illegal.
yeah. They're
Footloose
outlawed.
all over again. It was illegal to dance. Now it's illegal to have a handbag. Every time I think about that movie, I smile. I'm like, what do you mean it was a movie about the fact that it was illegal to dance?
For
I
some
love
reason,
it.
I just thought of Trolls when he's like, singing killed my grandma.
You haven't seen
So
Trolls,
cute.
have you?
No, but
Have
I've
you?
seen that meme. Like the sound on TikTok.
It's so good.
Okay, next
And they're
movie night
singing,
we're
like,
watching
They're singing
Trolls.
like True Colors, and it's like Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake, and it's like singing killed my grandma, and it's like Branch.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, next girls' night we can watch that.
Yeah, we can get really drunk.
Yeah.
And watch
Amazing.
it.
And we'll be
make a
really
drinking
annoying 'cause
game.
we'll just be singing the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's how we thrive. Okay, so the stats. So, according to a spokesperson from the fashion search engine List, demand for women's handbag was down 5.5% in April 2026 compared to April 2025. And interestingly, searches for briefcases are up 14% and clothes with pockets increased by 542% between last January and April. So, maybe I think that the data is backing
The
up
rise
that
of the humble pocket.
yeah, people are searching for alternatives to the handbag. And the author thinks that this question can be explained by a few different factors. One of the things being that the it handbag that millennials previously heralded as like the fashion item that people would say for
The everyday bag.
yeah, and like the status handbag that celebrities would carry is no more because algorithms mean that our taste is, while I do think that obviously algorithms impact individual taste, it does also mean that certain items are marketed to niche groups.
Yeah. The other thing that I would wonder is like, you know, this person who wrote into, was it the New York Times, right?
Yeah.
That they were like, you know, I've been noticing that like powerful people or celebrities, you know, aren't carrying handbags. Would that not be just because someone's holding their shit for them?
Yeah. Well, there is.
I'm like, they have assistants.
Yeah, exactly. And that was another point that she brought up is
Yeah.
that practically smartphones carry a lot of the things that we typically would have been having in our handbags prior to that.
I guess we don't need a big wallet or anything.
Well, do you guys
anymore.
even have a wallet?
No.
I don't have
When
a
I need
wallet.
a physical card, I'm like, I don't know where that is.
Where'd that be?
Yeah, literally. And you're
Yeah.
not carrying like, not everybody will be carrying a physical planner or notebooks
Yeah.
or all of those things that we now can just have on our phones. So there is that. But yeah, she does kind of pose that question that is it that generally the more powerful the person, the less that they need to carry a bag? Because
what
yeah,
I
they have
would
people
assume.
around. Yeah, they have people around to deal with their stuff. And she points out that Anna Wintour, arguably the most powerful person in fashion, is renowned for only ever carrying her phone. So yeah, do you guys agree? Do you think that the old adage of dress for the job that you want applies here?
No, I
like,
need
do you
my
think?
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I
I
get.
need a tampon, you know?
Yeah.
Is someone going to make clothing that has a pocket big enough for my laptop so I can take it to work? You know, like
Yeah.
what about all that shit? I mean, it would be great if someone would carry my stuff
Yeah.
for me all the time. I can't stop thinking about Anna Wintour having like a moldy banana falling out of her handbag if she had one. But it is
No, I heard that about her.
Yeah,
Kidding, Anna. I'm kidding.
yeah, she has a moldy banana on the bottom of her Birkin.
She can put it with my mouldy apple.
Yeah.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
But yeah, I'm like, okay, so I do see that, and I'm not saying that that doesn't happen with a lot of powerful, successful people that maybe they don't need to carry a handbag, but I'm like, for the average person, that's probably not
It's
realistic.
not really
Yeah.
relatable. Like,
Right?
you know, where for the average Joe or Joanna, if you will, like we're going into work, we're
Getting public transport,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
carrying your laptop.
Lunching, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
exactly.
My one thought when you were saying before is that the sales of handbags have gone down is potentially wondering about how that relates to the lipstick index and how have you heard of the lipstick index before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people buy more beauty products when there's like financial
Or just like
instability.
the amount as well that people spend on higher price items drops, but the amount that people spend on smaller pieces like beauty items like lipstick rises because it's more affordable and they can shop that rather than shopping for more expensive things like a handbag.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wonder if the fall of the handbag is actually more due to the cost of living crisis and the fact that we don't have, you know, money to be spending here and there, especially on designer handbags.
Yeah.
But like most handbags these days, you know, they're costing a pretty penny for especially, you know, a large tote, a leather one.
Yeah.
That's going to set you back around $300.
Yeah.
So I wonder, and I don't know the answer to this, but if that also has something to do with that.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a correlation there, and she does kind of touch on that briefly in the article too. And she also touches on the rise in popularity of secondhand luxury handbags as well, and that the shift is actually going there because in some spaces there's actually more of a status and cool factor to reviving a previously trending handbag
Yeah.
than buying it brand new.
Love that.
Which I'm like, if budget was no option and you had the choice, the exact same handbag, and you could get it brand new or vintage, which one would you pick?
I'd go vintage so I can be a wanker when people ask me, like, where's it from? Like, it's vintage, you
Yeah.
know? And also, I think that a handbag is something that you absolutely run into the ground. Like, no one is searching every month to buy a new handbag. I think a lot of people, that's a big part of their identity to have their one big go-to, say, tote or work bag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same. I'd definitely be going secondhand.
I agree. I've bought a brand, everyone knows this, I've said this that many times on the podcast. I've bought a brand new designer one like 10 years ago now, and I was like, worst decision ever. And I bought a secondhand one, and I'm like, best decision ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I like the fact, like what you're saying, like that I can kind of run it into the ground.
Yeah.
It's the uniform. It's like the Carrie Bradshaw coat. Like,
Yeah.
she is the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Except I will say I did buy a vintage one once and it was haunted. So
Yeah.
always beware.
It's lived a life
the
before.
haunted Gucci.
Yeah.
One time I bought this vintage leather jacket, and in the pocket that was right near my breast, I pulled something out of there. There was a Polaroid photo of this guy
Wearing the jacket?
with who I thought was Prince at the time. And I was losing my shit. I was like, how could this person leave this Polaroid photo with prints in the jackets, and I'm sending it to my sisters. My sister looked up Prince's chest hair pattern to compare it.
Oh,
because
my
in
God.
the photo, the guy had like a swirly pattern of chest hair. And I'm pretty sure it was like an impersonator or something, like those people who
Sounds
will
hot,
perform. But
regardless.
that was the most exhilarating 30 minutes of my life. I'm like, I have a photo of Prince in my jacket. Like,
Oh my God, I need to see this
God.
fucking Polaroid.
I know. I'll find it in my camera roll. I would have taken a photo of it.
You
We can do it as
absolutely
like a little.
have
Maybe
to.
we'll block out the other guy's face because I feel bad.
Yeah,
putting
no,
him
that's
in it.
fair.
But
Yep,
like,
yep.
yep, haunted. The things have lived a life.
Yeah,
But
wow,
yeah.
fuck fingerprints. Let's look at swirls of chest hair. Forensic analytics going forward. Oh my God. Yeah, well, so that's the thing. Like reading this article, I was like, I see the merit in some of the things that you're saying, but I think for the average person, the handbag isn't over. And we did also see that one of our fave Instagram accounts, Data but Make It Fashion, did also cover this topic too. And she was like, the handbag is not over.
It's not over. It was never over.
Yeah, that's literally her fighting for handbags until the end of time. But she did mention that, you know, some people, and that there is like a growing sort of perception of handbags as pieces of art and also things that are to be invested in. She mentioned that the original Birkin sold at auction for over $10 million. What? Yeah, and that even buying a Birkin bag can sometimes outperform as an investment piece compared to the stock market.
Whoa.
Yeah, so she's like, so there are people who carry value in this either as like investment pieces or as pieces of art. And then she did also mention that there are some brands like Valentino that are releasing bags that are a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
And by that I mean around $2,500 USD. But in comparison to other brands, so they are trying to make these luxury items that are of a lower price point that are, in quotations, more accessible.
Well, Chanel just dropped their prices, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I saw a post online about Chanel reducing their prices.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
And then like there's brands like Louis Vuitton and Balenciaga that are going heavy in the marketing around handbag launches. So I don't think that the handbag is over, but I do think that how much we need to put in our handbags is definitely changing, and that's true. And that women deserve fucking pockets that work.
Remember in the 2010s when the It handbag was the Mimco clutch?
I was thinking about
And
that.
I'm just glad that we progressed from a clutch to a bag, because holding a clutch was
was
so
the
fucking
dumbest thing
annoying.
ever.
You'd have one little strap around your wrist and you'd be flopping that
In the
around
club.
King's Cross. Yeah.
Put it under your arm, you've taken a photo, and you're like,
And Mimco one with the big buttons.
Yeah. Yeah.
don't post this.
In the club photos that you find on Facebook the next day.
Messaging the Facebook admin.
turquoise pleated top with like
peplum.
white wet leather
And fake tan
pants.
marks under your boobs.
Yeah, the Latan. Yeah.
Yeah, drinking out of a
Sally
teapot. It was a simpler time.
Or you've got a shot in a test tube.
Fuck.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Drinking out of a teapot.
R.I.P. Wellbar.
Yeah, seriously.
You would have loved the handbag later.
See you on Wednesday.
Oh my God. Well, that's a wrap for another fun episode of What's the Tea. But Starr, for the chicks who aren't already following you, where can they find you?
Oh, yes, this was so much fun. So you can find me on Instagram at Starr with a double R, MCG, and then on TikTok, just Starr. I don't know how I got that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm on it on Instagram. Who do I have to pay?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you a handbag.
I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. It's over. Didn't you hear?
Over.
And thanks to you chicks for having us in your ear holes. We love to be here.
Bye, chicka chicks.
Bye, chicks.
Bye.